You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
never had it quite like this. You carry so much on your shoulder. It's time to show you what a real love is. Forget the past, baby, let's move forward. I can give you what you're missing, push you toward your vision. I just wanna be a team, that's just who I am. Gotta show you what I mean. Won't you come with me? Come on and let's get away. Let me please you. Let's get away for the day. And don't you hesitate to say what you wanna do. Let me be the one to take a load off, the one you wanna show off. If you just let me, baby, if you let me, baby, won't you let me? I'll be all that you need. Baby, just let me be. There's nobody that can give it to you like I do, and I can prove that to you. I just wanna pamper you. Yes, I do. It's all about you. My priority is to be a dream come true. So anytime you need that, I'll do it just for you. Baby, it's all about you. So boy, won't you come with me? Come on and let's get away. Let's get away for the day. And don't you hesitate to say what you wanna do. Baby, won't you let me be? Let me be the one to take a load. I wanna, you just let me. Baby, if you let me, baby, won't you let me? I wanna be everything you'll ever need. If you let me be, let me be, oh let me, oh, let me be your everything. Let me be everything you ever need. Yeah, if you let me be, baby, if you let me be the one to love. Let me be the one to hold you. Let me be my
Oh, so long for this night. I pray that a star would guide you my way to share with me this special day, where a ribbon's in the sky for our love. If allowed, may I touch your hand, and if pleased, may I once again, so that you too will understand. There's a ribbon in the sky for our love. We've got all
dark of night will soon be gone. Morning light will bring the dawn. When your night's as bright as day, you will know you're on your way. Turn around, you will find endless beauty of your mind. Plant a seed and watch it grow. Now is the time to let your troubles go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let your troubles wash away. By my faith, the mountain moves. Without your love, what does that prove? All the clever words of truth don't mean a thing if I ain't got you. I need you here, hope you'd see. I dream that you'd be here with me. Hope to find I need to know. Show me the way to let my trouble go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Now's the time to make things right. Don't give up, keep up the fight. You'll be safe all through the night. When you wake up to the morning light, turn around and you will see what it feels like to be free, 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 free. Let it wash away from you.
Straighten it out with a flattening comb. What's that to you? I'm free to be me. That's what he wants. I was born to stand out from the crowd. As long as he's pleased, don't you bother with me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Free to be me. A design set just for me. I'm strategically planted to fulfill my destiny. If I choose to wear purple, green, or gray, or white when it's not a sunny day, what's that to you? And I choose to drive a fancy car, or an old one I pray will get me far. What's that to you? That's what he wants me to. the grain. He'll show you the way. You don't have to settle for less, for less. No matter what, you were born to stand out from the crowd. As long as he's pleased, you have to be. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. close the door. I'm taking back my power within. Reset my life. Hey, it's my time. It's too late. Gotta love myself. Wait, say it's too late. Trust the voice inside. I already know the strength that I own. Reset my life. Hey, it's my time.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We got a great show on tap tonight. We're very excited about tonight's guest. You just got through hearing a track from his latest CD collection, Music in the Key of String, and that title track right there was Give Me Your All. But it's nice. We got Mr. Carlos Camilo's in the house. Welcome, brother.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back, Carlos.
Yeah.
How are you? Straight from the North Pole of Miami here.
Yeah, I hear it's a little chilly down that way.
Yeah, man, it got chilly. I had to cover up real quick. Too cold. Not used to it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's the weather has been kind of unseasonable all around, though. It seems like, you know, because we had some pretty chilled weather here. You know, we're used to getting the cold here where I'm at, but it would seem like the temperatures lately we've been getting colder than normal, and then sometimes we're getting a little bit warmer than normal than we get. You know, so it's I don't know, it's just crazy. Yeah.
Well, the flooding in California.
Yeah, all the flood stuff going in California. Yeah, it's just wow.
Yeah.
But man, it's great to have you back on the show, man. And gosh, man, and this, like I said, this brand new collection of yours, man. It really surprised me because I didn't realize. You know, I just know you from the keys, man. You know, you're so awesome there.
Yeah.
And then when I heard this with the guitar, and then when you told me it was you, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, man, congratulations on this.
Guitar is a big passion of mine. Like I love guitar. Well, I'm a big bass guy. Like when I started, you know, learning about composing and stuff, I realized that I needed really to pay attention to the bass. Because the bass, it was gonna give me the, you know, the setup of the song, right? Like where it was going, the direction, the foundation. And man, I just love grooving, and I just sometimes I'm just sitting at the piano and I just put like a virtual instrument, like a bass, and I'll just start playing it, and that's how the ideas come along.
Oh,
I love it. I love anything that has to do with guitar, bass.
Yeah, man, very nice.
And you sing too.
Yeah.
Yes, I try.
Well, I've heard something. I can't remember the song that you were singing, and I thought, that's him. That sounds good. I think you do.
Yeah.
great.
Well, originally when I started back in my home country in Cuba, I was trained in choir, like the school choir, and we would do a lot of like classical singing, and then I started getting more into the pop and the salsa, then the romantic music in Spanish, and you grab a little from each style and then you incorporate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, I tell you what, you're doing such a great job. And like I said, since the last time you've been on here, my goodness, man, it just, I've watched some of the posts and things, over the time, and just seeing a lot of the things that you've been involved with, and some of the great, artists that you've been, jamming out with, and places that you've been going. So tell us a little bit about your journey, man, because I know it's been wild for you. And it seems like, I think when you were here the last time, I remember we were talking about when you were because I think back then you did a collaboration with our with the help me. Yeah. And it just seems like after that, man, it just seems like you just been whirlwind. It's just been a whirlwind. So yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, it's been the 2022. It was a blessing in so many ways, because a lot of my dreams that how sometimes you have dreams and then you project them to the future and then you forget about them, and then when you least expect it, they happen.
Yeah.
That's what 2022 was for me. It was a revelation of dreams. I saw myself playing at the Barclays Center in New York. I saw myself playing here at the FTX Arena, which now they changed the name again. I don't know what they're going to name it. Here in Miami, it was called the Miami Arena originally.
Yeah.
Now they put FTX. Now they changed the name again. So, but those are great venues. I mean, I've been flying back and forth in Central America. I've been played in Chicago, played in California, New Jersey. Man, so many places.
Yeah.
It's just been on and on. Puerto Rico, I've gone to Puerto Rico so many times. It's insane.
Right.
And it's, you know, with Lenny, the salsa singer, I'm playing piano for her.
Yeah.
And it's been, I've been there for 4 years already, but this last year, man, she really got busy. We just come back from Colombia last week.
Man, I bet that was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we stayed in a very spooky place.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of spooky because the thing is, I'm very spiritual. Like my spiritual awareness is very high. And like when I go to places, I can sense the energy. You know what I mean? And in that place, and high up in the mountains, it felt heavy. And then we were staying in these cabins. They were made out of wood, and they were hanging off a cliff by like a little thread.
Wow.
And I called it the fish tanks because they like the walls were made out of like crystal.
Oh.
And you had like glass walls, and then you had like a little curtain.
Yeah. Dang.
It was sort of like a couple's retreat type of place. But, we were only going for 2 days because, usually with these trips you go, you practice with the band over there, then you do the gig, and then you come back home.
Yeah.
So I don't even have time to really like visit or anything.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good experience. I mean, the air that you breathe in those hills is different. It's so pure.
Mm-hmm.
That I could say.
Nice.
Yeah. But I couldn't sleep.
So you said it was spooky. What was spooky about it? Because there were glass walls?
No, it was just the vibe. I guess. I had a dream. I had a dream. It was weird. It was it wasn't a nightmare, but it was a dream where a woman was decapitated.
Oh wow!
And it was very vivid. And then I woke up and I just couldn't sleep again. But I wasn't scared. Like my heart wasn't racing, but it was weird. Like I felt almost as if someone was reaching to me in that place. It was like a spiritual experience.
Man.
What part of South America was you in? Costa Rica or something like that?
That was in Colombia.
Colombia.
Actually, that's happened to me, but it was a hotel room when I was across America that I could not sleep. There was something in that room, and I'm like, something's wrong with this room. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
So I think we do pick up on things that are in there. We can't physically see it because it's supernatural. It's not natural. It's supernatural. But our senses can pick up on it. Yeah. Sure. I mean, think about it. Animals have that extra sensory perception, whatever you want to call it, as well. So why can't we have them? And since, I remember a lady saying, my mama's boyfriend, her dog didn't like him at all. He turned out to be no good. I mean, that's a short story of it. So right. I believe you when you say you picked up on something and there was something there. Probably needed an exorcism.
Well, down off in there, they still practice witchcraft and voodoo. Still practice.
I'm from South Louisiana, so I know all about that stuff. I stayed away from it. I saw some of the results.
I respect it because I'm telling you, like, it's around us. It's like you say, just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. As far as human perception, goes, this is something that I apply to my everyday life. Every day, like, we're extremely limited. We like to think that we have a lot of power and stuff, but right now I'm in a studio. I'm within 4 walls. I don't have vision of what's going on just outside these walls. Because that's how we operate. That we have limited vision, so it's always good to keep an open mind. Because you never know.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you.
I do too.
You're preaching to the choir here. I mean, it's your show, but Gary, about an hour after we went off the air, Gary shared some of his experience. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe another day.
Right.
About your music right now.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, I know you were on the show before, and I remember you talking about, coming from Cuba and your parents coming here, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, for the people that have never heard about you, we know you, but can you give us like a brief background and get us caught up?
Sure. Well, I was born in Cuba. A family that is, we don't have musicians in the family, but my dad had a very, very good taste in music. He instilled, that desire in my a very early age. He was playing, low key, because in Cuba, American music, when I was born in '89, it was prohibited. Like, you couldn't be listening to Earth, Wind and Fire, R.G. Roll, all that stuff was prohibited. So my dad found a way to get that music in, and then I had a lot of influence of Cuban music, classical music, American music, European music. It's just I grew up with so much influence of good music, and then I guess that was instilled in me from a very early age. But my foundation was classical music. In Cuba, I had to, I went to school. I had to learn Beethoven, Bach, Chopin, Tchaikovsky. That was like the main discipline. Like, you couldn't play salsa, you couldn't play the funny stuff until you mastered, your scales and the technical. And then I came, to this beautiful country in 2001, the same day of 9/11. Actually, that was the day of my flight. I don't know if we spoke about that last time. No. I was supposed to come here September 11, 2001, the same day the Twin Towers went down in New York. And I was very scared because in Cuba, they don't have television. They don't put movies in between the days. I think that was a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Tuesday. I know it was a weekday. And, usually they don't have TV over there. And I remember we turned on the TV and I thought it was a movie.
Oh, my gosh.
And then when we realized what it was, I'm like, I'm never leaving this country. Oh my God, they're gonna close the airport.
Right.
That's it. We're done. But thank God, 15 days later they opened the airport. So then I came here. Then I started getting more into jazz and blues. I really fell in love with jazz. I didn't understand it at first, because the thing is that people like me, that we come from Latin countries, there's a gap in our knowledge that you have to, bridge by yourself. You have to create a bridge between what they taught you over there and then the speed in which, the education is here.
Yeah.
And I had to really, it was hard at first. I got a scholarship at the University of Miami, but they were still asking for too much money. So I had to make a decision because, we had just arrived here. My parents were working, 10, 12-hour shifts. And, we were not going to be able to pay for the school. So then I told my dad, let me do it. And, I'm not going to give up on this. Let me see how I can find my voice. And then I just started learning songs. And before I knew it, I had like 300 songs in my repertoire of different, artists. Yeah. From jazz to smooth jazz to pop to R&B to hip hop to salsa. And then I started, playing live. And then, little by little, people started noticing me, and I started getting called for more important gigs. And as I was doing all of this, I was also composing music and creating. And then, my first album was released in 2012, Dim the Lights, which this year I had to do a re-release because the company that I used to release the album, for some reason, turned down the album. I guess they changed their guidelines or something, so they brought it down, so I had to re-release it. But Dim the Lights, you'll find it under 2022 because I re-released it, but it originally came online in 2012.
Okay.
That was the first time I released an album. And then, man, from there it's been a trip. I mean, it's 30 albums already and more than 60 singles in a bunch of different styles. And wow. I already got 7 more albums lined up for 2023.
Boy, I'm telling you, you are a train, man. You just be working.
I know.
You do. And everything is just top notch. I mean, everything is just sounds so good, man. And so,
I mean, I just love it. You know, it's my passion. Like, if a day can't go by without me writing a song, like I have to sit down.
Oh, nice.
Because I guess this is the way. Yeah, this is the way that I center myself as a man, and especially when something funky happens around me, and then I just find a way to transform it into music. So change a negative into a positive. You know?
Now, how's your sister doing? I know she was doing some background for you there for a while, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, man! I'm trying to push my sister so she can start releasing. She has so many fire songs. She's a writer too.
Yeah.
But oh man, her writing. I mean, she hasn't had the same luck that I've had. That I've really gotten to play many places and really had an intensive training in music because she has other interests. Like she really loves volleyball. Now she's going to FIU honors college. She won the honors college. She was invited there because she has amazing, like, straight A's. She's so smart.
Oh, awesome.
And she's doing now something in kinesthetics because she really loves that. She likes healing people with massage and stuff. So she's getting into that area.
Yeah.
But she's an amazing writer. Like, she writes poetry. Like, wow. Like the songs that we have here. But it's hard for me sometimes to like to push her. Like, come on, let's release this, because she second doubts herself a lot because she wants it to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just giving her space because there's something really special about the way she writes.
Yeah.
And hopefully this year we can release something, because I'm working on an album for her now that is going to be incredible.
Oh, that's going to be.
She has a single out there now.
Really?
Yeah, she has a single. It's the only one that we have been able to release. Let me see if I remember the name.
Is she singing?
Yeah, she's singing.
Okay.
Then I did all the music. It's called Moving On.
Okay.
So Adriana Michelle, Moving On.
Yeah.
You'll see. It's very Whitney Houston, type of vibe. You'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
What's her name again? What's her name again?
Adriana.
Adriana Michelle.
Adriana Michelle. And man, and then plus she was doing. Also, I remember when we was talking to you the last time too. She was also helping you with your video stuff and your graphics and things like that, right?
Oh yes, we're a team, man. I'm telling you, because I mean, beyond being my sister, I see her as my daughter. I mean, we've had some rough times where I've had to be like, wait a minute, let me step back, because she's not my daughter, she's my sister.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Like, I become overprotective of her, and then I start to act like her dad, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not that way. But we really love each other, and she always supports me. She records basically all the videos that I have. She records me. She has ideas. She took courses on how to record and angles, and she's amazing. So then she helps me also with the backup singing in the music that I make. Sometimes she sings too with me, in some of the covers that I have.
Yeah.
Scared. Mac, your mic is hot. You scared the mess out of me.
when you call for sneeze or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think we need to.
Yeah. Put some sprinkles. Yeah, give us some sprinkles.
Yeah. Carlos right now.
This is a little inside joke that we have here.
Right.
Yeah. I started off the air, you guys. Family support. I know I've been tagged on your videos, but I didn't realize that Adelita, did I get it right? Adelita, thank you, is your mom. I think that's so. She's on top of things. You really have a great system. Is this something that just happened? Your mom, I'm sure your dad too. They're just behind you and they're giving. Turn your mic down. Wow. You made me cough. But I mean, tell me about that, because you don't see that very often.
Well, I'm extremely blessed. I'm so happy. I'm so I feel just privileged to be able to have my family on board since very little. They've always been there. And, you know, we're a very, like, old-fashioned family. Like, we all live together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, every time, you know, that I try to move out, they're like, no, you got to bring your girlfriend here. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I need my space. Because they, you know, if it was up to them, you know, they will build a house on top of this house. Because they just want me close.
Yeah.
But I'm very blessed, man. I'm telling you. And then there's nothing that I value more than my family. And it's one of the reasons why I keep going and I keep creating, because they make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And my daughter as well. You know, I have a daughter. Camilo.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Yeah, I was just gonna ask you about that. I was gonna ask you, is she actually kind of following in Daddy's footsteps? You think she might be interested?
Whoa, she loves my music. She loves it, and she's very musical. I'm trying not to impose anything on her yet, because she's all over the place. Like, she dances, she likes to draw. She definitely belongs in the art department.
Yeah.
She's either gonna be an artist or an actor. I don't know. She's so creative.
Mm-hmm.
She's super funny. Like, she's so funny.
How old is she now? How old is she?
5.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's still a tender, sweet age. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well,
But
great.
we have a connection. It's insane, the connection that we have. I mean, it's wow. I can't explain it. Like, the way that we communicate, and the way that she understands me, and the lessons that I've learned is wow.
Yeah.
She's a gift.
That's awesome.
And so musical.
Mm-hmm.
So how many songs do you have with you singing lead? I know I've heard some because I saw the video, but I think it was a cover song I heard.
Huh?
Well,
I have a lot of music. I have so much. I mean, I'm always doing covers too, because I appreciate, you know, other people's perspective, especially like when it comes to music. I learn a lot when I have to rearrange a song, when I have to, let me see, how would I say this differently? How would I be myself within these chords or within the song? So I really like to do covers, but I have a lot of original music too, in many styles. I'm always doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, just this morning, I was doing a cover of a Brazilian band that I discovered a few years ago. It's called the Exalta Samba. Oh my God.
Oh.
These people have so much livelihood in their music. It's in Portuguese, but the music is so rich, it's so vibrant, it's so amazing. And then the song, I heard it, and it just touched my heart right away. I started crying just by hearing it. And I'm like, wow, I got to do something. You know, it really touched me.
Yeah.
So then I did the Spanish version. I translated the lyrics. But it's when you translate from Portuguese, you can't really, you know, just like in English, you can't really do it word by word. You have to sort of, right, like find the rhythm in the words, see, you know, how they rhyme, and then how you could say the same thing in a similar way.
Yeah.
But you can't, obviously, you can't translate it word by word, so then it sounds weird. Does that make sense?
That's understandable. Yeah.
So I'm working on that. You'll see. I'll release that soon. It's really beautiful.
Super. Well, I want to talk about this brand new release, man. This music in the key of string, man. Oh my goodness, man! You really
love that.
Yes. Oh yeah, and like I was, you know, saying before, I was just really impressed with your guitar playing, because I didn't know. I just thought you was just pretty much, you know, mostly keys. I knew you did everything, because you do all your music, you produce, you do such a wonderful job, and but this really hit me, and I was just really impressed. So tell me, you know, and I really enjoy. I love your titles too, man. They're steamy, very steamy. You know, and I love the order
this
of
album
it.
This album got a little pornographic.
Yes, indeed. Well, tell us a little bit about the project, man. I mean, you know, because I know this is probably a love of yours that you probably wanted to do for a while, and you've done this, and it's just fabulous, man. I love it, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm very happy with this project because I've been wanting to do this for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't find the inspiration. Like I was, because when I don't feel it, I don't force it. You know, even if I had the idea of how I wanted it to sound and where I wanted to go, but it just wasn't there yet. So I would pick it up and then just drop it, and then I guess what I was really trying to make sure I had down was the sound.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is a program guitar. It's not a real guitar.
Okay.
So
What's the difference?
I'm playing. Yeah, this is like a virtual instrument. It's not a real guitar.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's twice as hard. I'm playing the piano with the sound of a guitar. That's why if you look at the cover,
Yeah.
it's a piano with the face of a human.
I
you know,
saw
in
that.
an abstract way.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So it's a metaphor. This is like what a guitar would sound like from the perspective of a pianist.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the concept of it.
Man, you captured it. You captured it.
Man, I spend months. I spend months in the program trying to achieve the right sound because virtual instruments, especially string instruments and horn, like instruments that you need to blow air, like the saxophone, they don't sound real. There's something always that sounds weird.
Yes.
And then I hate that because if I'm gonna release something out there, I want it to stand next to whoever plays that instrument. I'm not gonna release a saxophone album that falls below, what the standard is.
Yeah.
So this guitar specifically, it comes built in the Yamaha, but I had to tweak it a lot. Like I had to go into the EQ and I really had to play with it because sometimes. When you hit the string, I mean, I'm not a guitarist, but you know what I'm talking about. When you hit the string and you hit it too hard, and it almost sounds like a slap.
Right.
That makes the sound doesn't sound smooth. So these keyboards have so much of an advanced technology that depending how hard you stroke the keys,
yes,
it creates the illusion of the person, sliding their finger on the string.
Absolutely.
But you really, really have to play carefully. Like you can't, like the way I solo when there's a piano, I can't do that level of intensity because if I do, then every single string will sound like you're plugging it.
Yeah, I get it. Yes.
You see, so it was a challenge because I had to adapt. Like I really had to imagine you're playing pianissimo all the time. Like you can't even, and then if you hit it hard. You gotta develop that sensitivity where you feel it, where you didn't go too much. Yeah. And it still sounded heavy. But it's pretty close to what you would do like with a guitar because you're feeling it with your fingers.
Oh yeah, and I mean you actually captured that perfectly, man. I wouldn't have never known it. I would have never known it. I'm shocked as you're telling me this right now. But man.
And then there's something really, really, really that really helps, which is the modulation wheel on the piano. Yeah. That modulation wheel helps me, like to bend the notes. You see how you will bend the notes?
Yes.
Okay.
That gives me the ability to bend them, but you can't go too far because it bends the note up until a whole step. Okay. But if you want to do half a step, it's very, very sensitive. Like you have to hear it. You can't pull the finger all the way because then you go a whole step.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like if you want to do like almost like a bluesy feel, like go up half a step, you have to do it really, really softly. Oh, wow. So man, it's a trip. I'm telling you, it's a trip. But then when I practice it and then I realized, wait, this is like the soft spot. I found it, and then it just started flowing. The ideas just started flowing.
Sound like to me you was playing an air guitar. It said virtual.
Well, I tell you what, you mastered that. You mastered it. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I've shown it to amazing guitarists, and they're like, "Who's this playing the guitar?" Like they until I tell them, and they're like, "Nah, no way, I gotta see how you do it." And then the gigs that they don't believe it. The gigs that I do down here in Miami, which next time you guys are down here, you definitely gotta go see me at the Cardoso Hotel,
Okay.
Miami Beach,
Right.
Ocean Drive, and 13th. He's riding Ocean Drive. This is Emilio Estefan's hotel. I've been playing there for a while. I do like like weekend gigs. Today I
Yeah.
played there.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow I play again. And then I have I play with like an electric guitar. It sounds a little bit like George Benson. He has that nice muted feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then sometimes when I do Carlos Santana's music, then I use the heavy metal guitar.
Yeah.
And then when I'm doing the solos, this is the trip. I have a baby grand, but it's not a baby grand. It's the shell of a baby grand. And then inside, I stick my electric keyboard.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So when you're walking by, you see this baby grand is red, and you think it's a baby grand, but it's just a shell. Until you get close, and then you see they have an electric piano. And then on top of that, you're listening to an electric guitar, like an electric solo coming from this baby grand. So the people trip out. They're like, "Is that him?" And then when they realize it's me, oh, it's him. Then they come close.
That's amazing. Oh,
So
man.
how long, Carlos? How long did it take you to perfect that?
3 months.
The guitar?
How long did it take you to perfect that guitar like that? How long did it take you? You said 3 or 4 months.
3 months he spent on.
Yeah, I would say it was like 3 to 6 months, because I had the idea, but I really wanted to make sure that it sounded real. Like I really, not that I want to fool people, because I'm always gonna tell the truth. I did it with the piano, but I really wanted the vibe to be as realistic as possible, and it has a lot to do with the EQing, because the original sound that comes with the piano is too thin. If you play it how it is, it sounds real, but it's too thin. So you have to work out the EQs, the low frequencies. You have to find the balance.
Yeah.
And if you give it too much below, then it sounds muddy. So it's man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I would just record like me just playing a solo on a CD, burn it, and then go to the car and
Okay.
listen to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then go back again. You see what I'm saying? I made adjustments, and then just like you would do like a mix.
Trust me, when you play, I play live horns, and this last song, I re-recorded because Terry Tuck is my producer, and he said, I do it again. Okay, let me try something different. After the third take, he said, that's it. Whatever you did, that's it. I said, okay, here you go. So, but I picked up on when you said 3 months, or now 3 to 6 months. I'm so glad you say that, because when they hear the finished products, they don't know how much effort, how much time, how much expense. And that says a lot about you, speaks volumes about you as an artist, that you will sit and spend that much time to perfect something. And my thing is, when you spend that much time, you'll never have to spend that much time again. It's take as long the second time, because now you got the knowledge. So I think people need to hear that, and even myself, because I get frustrated. I said, oh, Gary knows. I'm like, oh, guys like you, I'm so envious because y'all can do this and do that. But I forget, Gary, when did you start producing? Like 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. I mean,
This has been a long time.
Yeah.
And Gary, like you, put hours and days and months and years and all that time. So I just tell people, how do you do this? You have to be able to sit. I mean, I've sat here that took me an hour or two just to figure out one little thing. I got it, but I'll never have to spend that much time on it again.
yeah.
So I like that. I applaud you. I think that is wonderful that you have that much respect for the instrument to make sure you didn't just put anything out there.
Definitely. I mean, because there's so much music out there, but at the end of the day, I want to be able to feel proud of this. And I'm not, I'm not really doing this to be rich or to, this is my legacy. This is, part of my life. I most of the songs, if not all of them, are a reflection of my experiences. So when I hear a song, it takes me straight to a life experience, and then how I was able to translate that into music. And then I see people write to me all the time, and they're like, "Wow, you got me out of a jam." This lady wrote to me the other day that she was depressed, and then she started listening to the album, and all of a sudden she felt good. She started feeling good. So when I listen to those things, I'm like, it's worth it. There's something magical about that.
Yeah.
You can't put a value on that.
Sure can. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I tell you what, let's do this. I'm so excited about the track, this music, man. I want our viewers to actually hear some more. So, but before we do, let's talk. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about these titles now. Come on.
I knew you were gonna go there.
Yes. Now, from track number 1 all the way through 8, and I just love it how he titled it too, because the first one is called "Give Me You All," and that was the first one we played. And I really enjoyed and see, that's another thing. I love your melodies, man. I love how you do these melodies.
Thank you.
And that one was very catchy on that one. I really, that's been ringing in my head all day today, because I've been kind of playing some of these. But then we got
you know what? You know what? What happened to me, Gary? Sorry, with melodies, at the beginning when I started getting into smooth jazz, I had this professor that I used to show my music to.
Yeah. And
he brought something to my attention. He's like, when you're writing a melody, the melody is just like how you write an essay or a paper. It has a beginning, it has a build-up, you have a climax, then you resume it.
Yes.
So I at the beginning it was hard to understand that. Like, how could I, in a concise manner, how could I say so much in a concise manner? But then you realize, once you get the structure down of what you want to say, because I don't really think in terms of technicality, because then my heart, I can't put it in.
Right.
I'm not thinking in terms of patterns, you know what I mean? But I do think that I'm speaking through the instrument. So I'm telling you a story. And then obviously there's got to be some repetition to that. That's why, you repeat it, but you don't repeat it the same way the second time around. You add a little something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping it interesting.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
Well, man, it is all good. And this next one we're going to go into is called "Against the Wall." Now,
yeah.
And like I said,
it's exactly how it sounds. Is what it is.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. And but I mean, all of them are very, very good, man. Like I said, I really enjoyed the whole vibe of it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to play a couple and let our viewers and listeners kind of get with it, and then we'll come back and pick up where we just left off. Okay, so this next one is called "Against the Wall." Y'all keep it locked right here and enjoy this music with Carlos Camilo in the house.
Conquer this whole wide world. Look, let me take you by the hand.
Yes,
Hey.
yes. Man, that was awesome.
Yeah. I had to
Yeah,
turn
I
the
think you done started something new here, bud.
Man, sounded
You
great.
know, I can hear how you was bending your notes. Then I can hear you kind of swiping it down, like swiping down on the note.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm like, gee, I wouldn't. I thought you might have been playing the piano. I mean, the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, shit.
Oh yeah.
Better watch out.
I mean, Yamaha, the piano itself, I give it credit because they're the ones that created the sound. So originally, it sounds good, but when you record it loses frequencies. That's why you gotta work it with the EQ.
Yeah.
That's why I spend so much time, going back and forth because when I reached this sound, I knew right away. I'm like, yes, this is the sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, excellent
There's a
job.
very thin line. Like it sounds robotic almost. If you don't take it to the level, and then there's also a little bit of reverb that you got to put. You got to play with a little bit of echo.
Yeah.
So it's but not too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
You got to find the sweet spot.
Yep. Well, you found it, man. That was. You
Is that the time?
I captured it.
You know what? Right. I'm not making fun of you. It's because we have against the wall body friction, and you said sweet spot. I'm not.
See, she'd have took that another level.
Well, let me just enlighten you a little bit more because we got there's four more tracks. And,
Okay.
The other title is the next one after foreplay is Obsession. Okay, and then the number 6, Top or Bottom. Number 7, Dripping Sweat, and number 8 is Cuddle Time. Okay.
You gotta have
Man,
that.
you must be in love. You must be in love.
Sales,
You
love,
gotta
love.
go after all of-
Oh my goodness.
Man.
Okay.
If you don't cuddle after that, you're gonna be emotionally down.
Yeah. No doubt. But very nice, man. It's a very nice collection.
Thank you,
though.
man. Thank you.
You shouldn't have any trouble selling that album. Look, Mac was like, baby making music, baby. That's some baby making music.
That's what I'm talking about, Joy. You took the words out of my mouth.
Gosh.
I'm just thinking, but
Yeah.
I was just
the
thinking
song
again to myself.
The song foreplay number
As
4.
I was thinking again, myself.
Ray, you keep cutting my brother. You keep cutting my man off.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Come on,
Can't
Carlos.
get edgewise.
Yeah, sorry, man. No, I was saying that foreplay, it's not this song specifically. It's not the actual foreplay because if you see this album has an order and it's for a reason.
Okay.
If we were talking about conventional love making, then foreplay will be the first song, right?
Yeah.
But not in this case.
Right.
This foreplay, you see that the melody is sweet, is like heartfelt. So this is not that foreplay. This is an emotional foreplay. This is where you really made a connection with the person, and now, like, you're looking into their eyes, and you went to another level. Like it's no longer just against the wall. It's no longer a body friction. Now it became something else.
Right.
So it's like an emotional foreplay to what's coming after. So like it's like a deeper bond. That's how I thought about it.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense.
That's why the person becomes
Carlos,
upset right after foreplay.
Hey, that foreplay,
He said,
it's not patting and fitting, put it that way. Just patting and fitting. No, it ain't that.
What, Ray? What you say?
come on,
I said it's not
Chris.
patting. It's not patting. Patting. What up? Damn it, y'all don't mean.
He got Ray all flustered up.
No, what I was saying is just not patting and feeling. You know, it's foreplay. I gathered. It ain't just touching. You done all that.
Man. But
That went over.
Oh man.
You see, that's why you're not gonna have any trouble selling it. So it leads to all kinds of conversations. You sure that wasn't a marketing ploy? Because it's working. but so how would you describe the body friction that came before the foreplay? Well, that sounds. I mean, you said emotional connection. So how do you describe that? You know, before the emotional connection. Whew, it's getting hot in here.
Getting ready for foreplay. Getting ready for foreplay.
The people in the album, they fell in love after the fact. This is why they went straight to the action. You your own against the wall.
Yeah.
Slow it down a little bit.
There you go.
Oh, man.
But no, nevertheless, though, it's all good, though. Man, it's great stuff.
Very good. Very.
Thank you.
I have my phone right on my ear trying to hear it, even though Matt's trying to blast everybody. I'm like, I don't want to hear it over Zoom because, you know, it loses something. I want it directly in my ear, but I can always go and listen to it. Off the air, you mentioned something, Carlos, because I know I appreciate your mom, how she tags at a lot, because I enjoy the videos. But you mentioned that you don't have a Facebook page anymore. You had to create another one. So know about that. So we can make sure we connect with you on your new page.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. I mean, I've had my page open for years. I mean, since I opened it in 2007. And I just had, you know how hard it is for us independent artists to, you know, to build up a fan base and a following. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was doing that little by little, you know, release after release, and more people were jumping in. I had a few videos that were going viral.
Yeah.
I got one that almost made it to a million views. The cover for Too Close, Next, remember?
Oh, yes, I remember that one, yes.
I did an instrumental version of that song, and it was a hit. People loved it.
Oh, yeah.
They started sharing it back and forth. Man, and I lost everything. I lost all the views. They just deleted my page for no reason, no explanation. We were talking about it before we went live. I did some research, and then there was some legal issues between iTunes and Apple Music, I think, and Facebook. Mm-hmm. They had some inside issues, and then Facebook changed their policies. But man, they didn't think about us, the independent artists, and then they started giving me excuses that they were short-staffed because of the COVID. And then in between that process, they never reviewed my page because I've never had any inappropriate stuff in my page.
Right.
It's all music. Mm-hmm. So I think I got hacked on the page. A bunch of my friends were getting hacked too. I was watching that. I think Bob James told me something about that too. He said that he had to leave Facebook because they were bugging him too much, and then he's focused on his music. Because all of a sudden I lost him too, and I'm like, what happened? This is how we met. We met on Facebook. Right. When the pandemic hit. But he had to abandon Facebook too. He told me that he's like, you're getting too big. They got scared.
Yeah.
I have
That's
said.
What I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
You have
Mark Zuckerberg, he don't like that, so you was getting too big on Facebook for him.
But you know what? Yeah. I see some filthy content, with all due respect, on Facebook that gets millions to millions. There was, like he said, there was nothing inappropriate on it. 1 million views on a nice musical video. Nice music, nothing inappropriate. But I've come across things, I have a Facebook group, Saxophones with an S, and I think it's a little over 17,000 members, and it got hacked. somehow they were able to get in and change that they didn't need approval, and there was porn stuff. And when I'm saying hardcore, and I had to look at that, go, oh my God, you got to go. Oh, and I finally got a hold of, because I was handling it all by myself. And a guy named Andrew, I've known through Facebook for years, offered to help attack this. I finally got it under control, but I don't know how they did that. But you guys, listen, there are thousands, literally, of fake Facebook profiles. And I think they're created because they sell views. That's the only thing they use. So they create a whole lot of things, and they just push these videos in front of you. And unfortunately, I think some of them are about sex trafficking. I think some of them are minors. I report them, but they keep coming. But now I can control them where they don't go to the timeline, that I can stop them before. And one day I saw over 800 of them, and they all have a profile. You know, the profile is a circle with an alphabet in the middle, with a solid color background. And so there are people looking for popular profiles like yours that want to duplicate it, they want to hack it, they want to everybody. And unfortunately, I thought I was going to lose my group. I really did. I didn't. I got it under control, but I mean, you can't report them all because there are literally thousands. Your whole day would be spent on reporting. So they're going to my point in all this is they delete your legitimate Facebook page, but yet you got these things that are just filthy out there, and they keep coming. I'll block them. Now, this is the thing, I will block them, and that same person will come back. How are they able to come back after I block them?
They come back in a very different way. It's just like the calls that you get. The scam calls and repeat calls and stuff that. They come in each and every time in a different way.
Yeah.
But my point is, that's what Facebook needs to attack. Not pages like yours. I mean, our mind. We're not causing any problems. But how do we find you now? So you have another Facebook page, right?
Yeah, so I have to open a new one. I mean, it's Camilo Perez, like how my name is. CAMILO PEREZ, Camilo Perez. You see a picture of me with a hat, and then I guess, I got to start over. I've been slowly adding people, but I lost, I had more than 10,000 people in there. I couldn't take no more requests. I mean, and I was getting followers, but anyways, I mean, when it comes to these things, I also believe that it happens for a reason. So even if it's something that I didn't like and it created an inconvenience for me, I see it as a blessing in disguise because, God is watching and
Amen.
He knows how He operates in mysterious ways. So I'm not even going to sweat it. I'll start again because no one is going to erase my legacy. I have more than 30 albums out there. And plus all the other ones that are coming out, nobody's going to stop me.
That's right.
So, those are minor inconveniences that we got to deal with.
Okay, good.
And you know what? We should get used to it because now you know what's coming next? Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of research on that and, and watching videos here and there and, trying to get, and it's insane. I mean, they're I don't know if it's true, to what degree it's true, but they're saying that almost 70% of the traffic on the internet is fake. Like it's artificial intelligence. It's robots. It's machines. Yes. I was blown away when I heard this. I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot.
Yes.
Joe Rogan, he's somebody that brings a lot of influential people. Sometimes he talks about, some things that obviously they're just playing around or just goofing around. But they brought this guy that he's an expert on all things internet, and he's worked for the CIA. He's worked for government officials. And this guy is talking that the internet is filled with robots, artificial intelligence, and they're testing it out on us, on the population, to see how we react, And this is crazy when you think about it. Like, wow, I just got a like, and it's probably not even a real person. Because how do you really know? That's the thing.
That's true.
How do I really know?
That is so true.
Mac may not be a real person.
So I am very real.
Wait a minute.
Let's get the water out.
I am very real.
Yeah.
I got a quick way to test it.
You are not artificial intelligence, Mac.
Oh, I'm not no artificial intelligence,
But
It's coming.
that is true though,
it's
because
coming to that.
yeah, and
It's already here.
and just think about it. Even like just here's a good example like these chat rooms and stuff. They got the little what they call them bots or whatever they
Yeah.
come in and they come in and try to just I don't know what they be doing, but I mean it's just all this. Like I said, it's all fake stuff that's happening. This is crazy.
It's making me think. You really thinking, Carlos is like, okay, I want to do my little thing, Mac likes her.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what?
Like, wow. Because, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying that. I think that no matter, like, humanity as a race, we're always trying to better ourselves. So I can't, judge, the people behind the artificial intelligence. I can't judge them because I'm also trying to improve myself with my music. This guitar album is proof of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that there's a line that we got to respect, because, I mean, how far are we going to go?
Right.
Where's the line? Where do you draw the line? You know what I mean? And it's,
Yeah.
the medium of communication, social media, it was meant to be for us to be closer to each other, and it's the total opposite. I mean,
Right.
what happens in social media. I mean, and I'm grateful because if it wasn't for YouTube, most of us wouldn't even have a voice. At least we got YouTube. At least we have, a way to be heard. We have this show that at least people are listening to us. But imagine like how advanced things are gonna get that. Gonna get to a point where what's the point of even humans doing anything because everything is gonna be automated.
Right.
It's scary. To me, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm guilty. I have a robot sweeper. It maps out your floor and it programming it. It sweeps and it mops. My son got us that for Christmas. And I had no plans of getting him one. And I have to admit, it was kind of creepy. I know they've been out for years. I just never had one. And we also rented a Tesla for about 6 weeks, trying it out. And my husband totaled the car, and we're trying to decide what we're going to get. And it freaked me out and I've heard about it. I knew about it. But when he said, watch me take my hand off the wheel, and it's going to stop at the red light. I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for this. Sweeping your floor is one thing, but a car on its own. But so we're all guilty of that. Taking some form of. I mean, even right here, my MIDI keyboard, I have a lot of artificial instruments in my software. So your point is well made, Carlos. I see what you mean. You can't be mad at them for trying to make life easier. But you're right. There's a line because we're going to have another, what is it called, Tower Babel thing. We don't want to Tower Babel when we get too close to that, So there is a line, and we might be getting too close. You guys remember the robotic women that were gorgeous and perfect formed, and they would acquiesce to anything you want them to do. I said, oh gosh. I mean, the men won't need a wife.
Listen, I don't think we're gonna need foreplay by that point. You just press a button.
Hey, Jose, all you have to do is just say one thing, point, and get to work.
Hey, you need a robot.
Oh man.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right.
Well, with that said, why don't we jump in a couple more and then come back? That sounds good to y'all.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What are we
funny, guys.
play?
Say what, Joyce?
What are we doing now? Foreplay?
Well, we already did foreplay.
Now
You trying to get back over to the foreplay.
Say what, Carlos?
We're going into obsession mode.
Yeah, we're going to obsession now.
Oh, see, that's what happens. That's another time. No, I'm sorry. Getting carried away.
All right, y'all. We'll be right back. Y'all keep it locked right here.
To pick up after, I should be happy, but all I do is cry.
playing Cuddle Child time right now? I thought we was on the air.
We are. We're coming on. I'm just.
Okay.
We are. Let it ride. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, this music is too good, too good.
It
Now,
is.
what y'all need to do, women, pull your man over to you and get down with it.
No. Okay, well, let me. They should be the reverse.
Either or.
But this sounds like Grammy stuff to me.
Thank you.
I'm amazed at it. And I appreciate you putting that much effort into the gift God gave you, and how it's touching people. Did you already say on the air how a fan wrote that going through depression, and how your music?
Oh yeah.
I don't think you said it on the air. Did you?
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit, but yeah, I could just say that I'm very blessed because people look up to me somehow beyond the music. Like even when I'm in airports, when I'm traveling, people get close to me. Like I've had so many spiritual connections with people, strangers, just on airports. It's insane. And there's this guy distinctively that I remember that he was having issues with his dad. He hadn't spoken to his dad for like 20 years. I have a degree in psychology. I believe in psychology, but I believe in spirituality as well. I believe in developing, the inner self. And I believe in healing, your traumas. And until you're healed as an individual, you can't help other people.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work on myself. I've tried to forgive all the wrong that has been done to me and all the wrong that I've done as well, because I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. And I just try to maintain myself in that, clean state of mind and spirit. And then just people draw to me in airports. So this guy came over and he started telling me his life story without knowing me. And talking about his dad. And he told me that no one ever explained to him that he needed to forgive his dad for abandoning him. And I spoke to him and I told him, until you put down, that bag of bricks, you're carrying a bag of bricks with you through life, you need to forgive your dad because you need to be the bigger person. Now you need to be your dad's dad, and you need to, because until you do that, you're not going to have peace of mind. And we had a talk and this guy was crying. And then when we left the airplane, he's like, you know what? I promise you, I'm going to take a step and I'm going to try to reach out to my dad. And I'm going to try, my part. And I'm like, you'll see what I'm talking about, bless you. And I never saw this guy again, but he was so emotional because sometimes all we need is someone to hear us, because we're going through something and then somebody listens to us and really engages,
Right.
and you feel that you're heard. Sometimes that's all we need.
That's right.
And that's the type of vibe that I try to put into my music. And I guess that's why you feel it, because it's literally me trying to speak to you through and that's the power of music too. This music doesn't have lyrics, but it's speaking to you. You just gotta hear. You can't just listen. You gotta hear.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And if I understand right, you write and produce all your music, right?
I do everything on a keyboard. I mean, sometimes I do have the help of some musicians. Like I have Jorge Pinelo. He's an amazing saxophonist. He used to be a teacher in Cuba, and now he's the director of Francisco Cespedes, which is a Spanish Grammy-winning, jazz singer, like a jazz crooner going Spanish, and he's amazing. And he helps me sometimes with the sax. We have an album that's coming up on 2023. It's called Groove from Beyond. I'm working on it. You guys are gonna like that. It's very futuristic. We're talking about robots. In the cover, I'm half a robot. So I'm trying to embrace the artificial intelligence already.
All
so
right.
you see that. That's interesting.
Cool.
And then I have some guitar friends also that collaborate with me.
Yeah.
My sister. Sometimes I have drummers that also play with me. But the thing is that since I have all this music in my head, it's hard sometimes to reach out to people, because then I gotta wait for them, and then by the time they come around, because they're busy living their lives, then I lose the ideas. So that's why technology is so good, right? Because you can just sit down and develop it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But yeah, I would love to do all this music live one day, like with real musicians. That would be amazing. I know we will take it to another level.
Amazing.
Nice.
Amazing.
Now, is that a tattoo on your neck?
Which one?
Oh, which one?
Yeah, this is a tattoo.
Oh, he got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, what is that?
This one says,
Eagle? No?
yeah, it's eagle wings, and then it says, I am music. Yo soy música in Spanish. So, yo soy, if you say yo soy in Spanish, it reads the same backwards and forwards. So that's why I put it like that, any way you read it. So, yo soy música, I am music, or música, yo soy, music, I am. It's always the same statement. I love affirmations. My affirmations are, I try to at least repeat a few of them every day when I wake up. I think it gets you in a positive mindset right away, and I love affirmations. So that's why I put one there.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
You sound like a very self-motivated individual.
I am, sweetie. I am. I'm telling you. But I owe it to my parents. I owe it to my family. I have a beautiful blessing in my life, which is my daughter too. And I just feel myself. I'm in a constant growth. Right now, I'm in a spiritual journey that is very special. I can't go into details because it's very deep. And I might be away from music a little bit just because I have to dedicate time to it. But I'm potentially, hopefully becoming a priest, not in a conventional sense of the word, but in the traditional roots of Cuban religion, which is called Regla de Ocho. It's ancient. It's even older than Christianity. And
That's
I found myself. Yeah, I've been through a journey that is so deep rooted to my origins and my culture, and I'm 34 years old, and this thing came out of nowhere when I was 33, Jesus' age. Well, I'm still 33. I'm gonna be 34 now on February, but it has happened when I turned 33, which is not a coincidence at all in my point of view. So all this spiritual journey has translated into more music. Then I realized I found out that I have an album called 3 albums, because one is due to release this year. It's called Sahara. I have Sahara, and that's Sahara Volume 2, and Sahara Volume 3, which is coming up this year. And when you listen to that album and you listen to the rest of my music, you're gonna be like, this can't be him, because it's literally a journey, an auditory journey through the desert. And then it's like I lived this life in the past. I can't explain it. Like I was a Tuareg warrior, in the Tuareg, right? These people live in the Sahara Desert, and they cross the desert in camels. So I feel I lived that life at some point in my life,
Wow.
So
Very interesting.
I'm trying to focus on that, so it's not just music. It's just a bunch of beautiful things that are happening around me. I see people reaching out to me that I'm able to just say a few words to them, and then I totally help them, because sometimes people are stuck in a pattern of repetitive behavior. And then sometimes all it takes is just a different perspective, like just to be heard, and then to tell you something that you already know, but you just forgot. Because we're human beings, we forget sometimes.
That's true. That is true.
And sometimes it takes a stranger to speak something to you than someone very close to you. They will hear it better.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
And I talk to other married couples who are like, I told my husband, blah, blah, blah. Then another guy tells him and he hears it right away. I said, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the way, that's the nature of humanity. I think, when they say that you don't totally appreciate something until you lose it, I think it has to do with that concept. Because we are, the way that we're brought up, we're nurtured by a mother, hopefully, if we have a mother with us, and she nurtures us, and then we're conditioned since birth, that we need physical and mental attention, and we need love, and we need that because the baby cries, and then there's the mother, right? To nurture you.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have that, sort of behavior instilled in us, and then it's a little bit of a programming, but after a certain age, I think that we need to reprogram our brains, and we need to find a way to become the nurturers. We can't be nurturing all the time, like getting nurtured from others. Sometimes we gotta become the nurturer too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody has that potential. All of us.
Yeah.
It's in us.
Absolutely.
But it takes a mental, it takes a mental process,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to put in work. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. And you
And
gotta be and you gotta be awake. Right?
Woo!
You got to be aware.
Woo!
Right.
Instead of listening to y'all.
Hey, Max.
You got to be woke.
You gotta be woke. All right. Well, it's getting that time. It's about that time to wrap up. I think it's past Ray's bedtime, and so
you know how old folks do. They got to go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Oh, you're old today.
Then work up the chickens.
oh, but
You
man,
better wake up the chick.
That too.
yeah.
See, look at you.
Yeah. But Carlos, man, it's been such a pleasure to have you back on, my brother. And we look forward to your next return, and we just want you to keep being blessed and doing that wonderful music, because it's great. It is so
Boy,
good.
I tell you,
Thank you.
it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And keep coming back, because you got so much stuff coming up. I mean, we need a whole day to cover what you've done, because I hear about the Sahara 1, 2, 3.
I know, right?
Gary's got me like, what is that about? But I know we only have about 10 minutes left in the show.
Yeah.
So maybe another time.
I'm gonna talk to Gary so we can arrange something when I release it. I'm planning to release that probably by March or April.
Okay.
The Sahara Volume 3, and then we'll dedicate a show to that because it's deep. I went into the Egyptian dynasties. I did my research, and I based this album on Egyptian tradition and culture.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
in love with it. I'm telling you, I feel like I lived that era, and
Wow.
it comes just so natural to me. Yeah.
Ooh,
No,
man.
okay.
I'm looking forward to
Oh,
this.
suck it now.
Uh-oh, look at Ray. Ray's doing the Egyptian.
That card, I'm sorry. Like, what's this?
Right.
Hi.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing going. So before we do, Carlos, you want to tell everybody where they can follow you and all that good stuff, the great plugs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, just go to my webpage. It's simple. Carlos Camilo, CarlosCamilo, carloscamilo.com. I think I can type it here in the chat so people can see it. And then when you go to my website, you're going to see all the links to everything. carloscamilo.com. I'm typing it there so people can see.
Okay, great.
Yes, you.
Awesome.
There it is.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, man, again,
Thank you guys for the invite. It was a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with you guys. Thank you for dedicating a little bit of your time. I know you guys are busy doing your stuff too, and lots of blessings. And let's keep creating because the world needs it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, you just wait. You just wait till some of them single-headed women hear that. Well, it's gonna be all over for the men. All over.
All right. Well, I just want to say to everyone out there, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for tuning in with us today, and then of course next week we have a schedule for next Saturday. Kalanda K. She's a choreographer and a vocalist, so it's going to be a great show. She has a lot to offer. In fact, just wait until she come on. It's going to be a great show. I don't know, Ray. You may not be able to keep up with her, so you better take your energy pills or something when you when you come on the show when she comes, because she's definitely got a lot of great stuff going on, and she can talk up some stuff. She has a little segment that I've been watching. I've been kind of doing some catch up on her. She has a little thing that she does. I don't know if she does it daily or once a week or when, but it's called Talking Stuff with Kalanda or something like that. But it's great. I enjoy just sitting back and just listening to her talk, man. Because she's real
stuff, huh?
She really she got a lot to say, and it's all good. All good. Yep.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah. Yes.
Have a good night, everyone.
Okay. Good night, Carlos. Thank you, sir.
Hey, man, it's our pleasure having you on the show, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
yes.
keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep
Appreciate
doing with that.
Look forward to seeing you back, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And everybody, thank you all for tuning in, and especially the ones that came back today that was here earlier today. We really do appreciate you. Yeah. But y'all have anything y'all wanted to say before we post on out?
Man, this whole evening has been fun and enlightening. I'm telling you, I've had a ball on both of them.
Yes. I didn't get a chance to read the chat. I was gonna try to see something. I don't know if Henry cut, because I know I put the camera on you when you was asleep a few times too.
I was just nodding. I was just checking. I was just checking for the cracks.
I won't even elaborate on that one either. I'll let that go.
I was just checking for cracks.
Yeah.
That's your problem right now.
Well, with that said, y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
I didn't thank people. Marilyn Ford, Colleen Keithley, Gia Hyatt, Fred Walker was in the house, Joel Crafton, Nessa Thompson, and Henry Mixon. Like Gary said, some of you earlier, we showed thank you, and we'll see you next week and invite somebody. Bye.
Okay, y'all. All right. Bye-bye.